This is why he kind of disowned them. He tried to play that family card. Why has Brian McKnight shunned his children? What's up, my beautiful soul family? How's everybody feeling today? So Brian McKnight's second child, Niko, recently passed away the end of May. And from what a lot of people were saying, Brian McKnight didn't even reach out to his dying son. You know what I mean? Brian made a statement saying that he did and he offered medical care for Niko, but it was turned down by Niko and his mother. However, Brian's other children, his biological kids that is, have also stated basically that they felt like their dad disowned them, shunned them, turned his back on them in favor of his stepchildren from his current wife and his new child from his current wife. What I thought I would do today is I'm going to do a reading to see why has Brian McKnight shunned his children. Because, like I said, it's two sides of the story. The kids are saying he shunned them. Brian McKnight is saying that their estrangement is mutual. We're going to look into that today. Now, y'all know, of course, before I start this reading, I need to put out my disclaimer. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Everything I state in this video is just my interpretation of the cards. Nothing I state in this video have been proven to be fact as of now. So now that we got the disclaimer out the way, I'm going to shuffle these cards and we're going to look into why Brian McKnight is estranged from his biological children. Alright, so let's pull the cards and let's see if we get the answers that we seek. So you got the Five of Pentacles, you got the Five of Swords, you got the Emperor in reverse, which y'all know that is an absentee piece of crap father. Y'all know that. So let's see here. Let me see here. He decided to... That's so crappy. That's so wrong. Let me see here. So from what I'm seeing is that he left them, he did shun them. He left them out in the cold, basically. You know what I mean? His kids. Let me see. He felt like they needed to all be in cooperation with him. I'm getting the feeling that he's a bit of a narcissistic father. He was a bit of an absentee father. He's a cold father. You know what I mean? And he feels like that's the way to move forward. Let me see. You got the Queen of Wands, which is about somebody... I feel like he disinherited them kids from his will. He's also losing money. You know what I mean? He feels like he has to be the authority figure. You know what I mean? But he's a dude that live a double life. He's not a good father. He's not a good leader. He's not that good patriarchal figure. You know what I mean? If anything, he tries to abuse his power. He tries to throw around his little authority. It's got to be his way all the time. This is what I'm seeing. You know what I mean? I feel like he didn't want them kids. This is what I feel like. I feel like so he kind of regrets having those kids and he wanted to escape, but he felt like he wasn't able to walk away. You know what I mean? So this is why he kind of disowned them. You know what I mean? But he feels robbed of something. I feel like he feels like, let me see, how can I say that these women had these kids by him so that they could get his money. This is what I feel like he feels like. I feels like he doesn't have good feelings about those kids, you know what I mean? Because of their mothers. This is what I feel like. I feel like he's taking on them kids what he feel about their mothers. I think he had a relationship with his sons at first when they were little or whatever, but he tried to play that family card, but he didn't feel the love there. You know what I mean? Now, I know he has different kids by different women, but I feel like he feels like, oh, the mothers had those kids to get money from me. There was a money ploy. You know what I mean? They're just gold diggers. That's why they had those kids. And I feel like that it's part of him really didn't want those kids, and he feels resentful of his kids to an extent. I think he feels like, let me see here. Because of his relationship, his re- didn't pro- because his relationship didn't prosper, but this happened plenty of times. He tried to be this big happy family and get married, but he didn't feel like he was able to prosper, or he felt like she took too much money from him or something like that. Let me see here. He's stingy. He's very selfish. He's very cold-hearted. He's mean-spirited. He doesn't want. He doesn't want to be responsible. He didn't want to be responsible for them kids even when they were children, more or less. Now that they're adults, you know what I mean. He sees being a father more as like a business exchange, like a business relationship. He doesn't see it as, you know what I mean. I don't think he has the same bond with his kids that the typical person has. You know what I mean? I think to him, he just feels like they're just lazy ingrates that just want his money, and like the mothers wanted this money and the kids wanted this money. This is what I'm feeling like is his side of the things, how he sees things. He sees it as they're just there to use him. Even though I feel like he's done a lot of lying and cheating a lot of money. Yeah, he's rich or whatever, and he feels, he does. He feels like his ex-wife married him for money. Like, all of this is about money. He cares more about his career than he did his family. You know what I mean? He thought he did the right thing by marrying a woman because she was pregnant. You know what I mean? She had a child for him. So he gave her money towards these kids, but he couldn't wait to walk away. He was more interested in his success. He felt tied down by the demands of being a father. He didn't like it back then when he had those other kids. Not even just the ones by his wife, just having kids, period. He was a seducer. He was a ladies' man. He likes to sleep with women, but he didn't like being tied down to them. This is what I'm saying. He always keeps a calm demeanor because he's not very emotionally invested in his children, allegedly. What I'm seeing in the cards and from what my dad is saying. Yeah, Brian McKnight never wanted to have those kids. He just wanted to play. He never really got much of an emotional attachment to them. This is why he's so able to just walk away from them. If anything, I'm getting a sense that part of him feels like them women and them kids held him back. It was all just a money ploy. Very selfish father, very about himself. It's always me, 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 me. He's very manipulative. He's very cold-hearted. He's very critical to them kids, too. He really don't care about them. Them kids actually, from what I'm feeling from these cards, them kids, at least at one point, love their father. They still kind of do love their father. They want their father a part of their life. They wish they could have some kind of relationship. This is what I feel like. But to him, it's just a thing where, it's cost too much money to have, y'all. He's caused a lot of emotional turmoil. You know what I mean? Some poor decisions towards his children and his family. You know what I mean? He's always been highly critical of them. Very, you know what I mean, unloving. Being very selfish and self-serving. You know what I mean? He's always been more worried about chasing women than caring about his kids. He's never been able to, be a good father to really raise them and be there for them. Like I said, he just feels like he has no more energy left in him to deal with those kids and being a father to those kids. He really regrets it. And it's sad. You know what I mean? Alright. Dude, this jumped out. Yeah, he was more in pursuit of his career. He wanted to spend time chasing and sleeping with women. It wasn't, yeah. That's what he wanted to do, which is his right, but he should have just not made kids, in my opinion. Alright, last bit of cards. Okay, so trying to figure out the last bit of cards I'm trying to say. He's very selfish and self-centered. He's toxic. He's a negative person, and he's greedy. You know what I mean? I feel like he's controlling too. Like, his idea of his kids being a part of his world means to do things his way. You know what I mean? And they're not very happy with that. You know, so that's why he feels so content with them not there, because he feels like they're not doing what he tells them to do anyway. Now I want to remind everybody this was all alleged, just my interpretation of the cards. But to answer the question, Brian McKnight never really wanted those kids in the first place. He never really wanted their mamas anyway. He felt like they was just money pits. That's why he even the woman he married, he thought he was doing the right thing by marrying her, but he never liked the demands of being a dad in the first place. You know what I mean? He doesn't have an emotional attachment to those kids. Those kids want him as they want a relationship with their dad. This is what I'm feeling and what I'm seeing in the cards. Tell me what you think down below. Do you guys think that Brian McKnight did reach out to his dying son before he died? Do you think that Brian McKnight ever cared about his kids? Thank you, my beautiful soul family, for tuning in. I'll see y'all in the next reading. You have a good one, my babies. Love you.